What is this strange creature appearing on the roof of the Kaaba? Allahu Akbar. Peace be upon you, viewers. The news of a mysterious being seen on the Kaaba has once again left people astonished. Yes, friends, this incident occurred when an immoral woman presented herself before the Almighty. As soon as she stood in front of the house of Allah, Baytullah, dark black clouds enveloped the sky and a storm arose that frightened everyone present. Then, a creature appeared in the sky that made people scream in fear. This video went viral on social media as quickly as it was being deleted. The reason for deleting this video was not understood. We request you to watch this video till the end and share it with your friends. Before we proceed, if you are new to this channel, please subscribe and click the bell icon so you can be notified of every new video. So, friends, this is the story of an immoral woman who spent her entire life in sins and disobedience. From childhood, she was accustomed to singing and dancing, which was also her source of income. Every day, she would adorn herself and go to gatherings to sing and dance. Her performances attracted men towards her. People became enamored with her captivating voice and dance, spending their money lavishly on her. She was extremely beautiful and charged exorbitant prices for her performances. Admirers of her beauty would spend money on her like water, which made her very arrogant. One time, she went to a gathering to perform. People, intoxicated with alcohol, were watching her dance and sing. Suddenly, the call to prayer, Adhan, echoed. The sound of the Adhan cast a strange awe over her. She was singing a ghazal at that moment, but there was something in the muezzin's voice, some pain, some love for Allah, that made the immoral woman fall silent. She stopped her dance and gestured for her musicians to stop playing the harmonium and drums. The men present, holding glasses of wine, intoxicated, watched the dancer who had closed her eyes and seemed oblivious to her surroundings due to the sound of the adhan. The muezzin's voice had such an effect on her that tears began to flow from her eyes. She couldn't understand her own state. It was as if there was an upheaval inside her heart. As soon as the adhan ended, she was overwhelmed with emotion and started crying, unable to comprehend what was happening to her or why she felt so restless. She left the gathering and went home, immediately changing out of her tight and revealing clothes. She changed her attire and went to sleep. But as soon as she heard the Fajr Adhan, the voice of the same muezzin echoed in her ears. Restless, she got up. She had spent her whole life singing and dancing and did not know how to pray. But when her heart learned to respond to Allah's call, she performed ablution and prostrated on the prayer mat. After that, she stopped attending singing and dancing gatherings. Her admirers even came to her house, but she no longer appeared before any man. She kept hearing the muezzin's adhan in her ears, which began to make her restless. However, she did not know who the muezzin was. She listened to the voices of many muezzins, but the voice that had unsettled her was nowhere to be heard. She learned to pray and recite the Holy Quran and spent her time repenting. She was also amazed that, despite being such a sinful person, Allah had guided her. She repeatedly asked Allah why He had granted her guidance and wept profusely. She went to perform Umrah. As soon as she stood before the Kaaba, dark clouds suddenly began to gather in the sky. It was the time of Duhr prayer, but the thick clouds enveloped the sky so much that it seemed like it was already Maghrib. Seeing the dangerous change in the weather, many pilgrims and locals became worried. But this time, there was no rain. Instead, a stormy wind arose, causing panic among the people. At that moment, a dark figure appeared in the sky. From a distance, it looked like a human figure with wings, flying in the air. Seeing all this, the woman's face turned pale. She burst into tears, saying, "O most gracious Lord, forgive my sins. Do not punish me so severely that I witness your wrath upon coming to the house of Allah. My sins are many, but surely they are not greater than your mercy. I am a very sinful servant, but I am remorseful for my sins. Forgive me, O Allah, just as you forgave the immoral woman in the past." Hazrat Abu Huraira, may Allah be pleased with him, narrates that the Messenger of Allah, peace and blessings be upon him, said, "A prostitute was forgiven by Allah. The reason was that she passed by a dog near a well who was panting with thirst. She felt compassion for the dog and thought, 'This dog is a creature of Allah and is distressed with thirst. I should give it some water.' She searched for a bucket but found none. So she took off her leather sock, somehow filled it with water from the well, and gave it to the dog, quenching its thirst. The Holy Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, said that Allah appreciated her deed so much that he forgave her sins because of this act alone. Imagine if that woman had thought, 'I am a prostitute. I deserve hell. Even if I perform this small act of giving water to a dog, what difference will it make?' If she had thought this way, she would have missed out on this deed and would not have attained salvation in the sight of Allah. But you deal with your servants through mercy, so forgive me too. Surely I am very sinful." She was sobbing uncontrollably. At that very moment, the storm subsided. The dark clouds in the sky began to disperse, and the strong wind ceased. The woman's cries and pleas continued. The people present became tearful upon seeing her weeping and anguish. It was time for Asr prayer when the Imam of the Kaaba began to give the adhan. It was the same voice she had heard for the first time in Pakistan, the voice that had changed her heart's world and which she could not resist. She gazed intently at the Kaaba and then fell into prostration, saying, "I was not worthy of guidance, my Allah, but why did I hear the adhan in that voice while I was singing and dancing, which distanced my filthy life from me and illuminated me with the light of faith? I have no special deeds to present before your court. I have only these tears of remorse." She was saying these things to her Lord when she began to remember that she used to feed hungry children every day. No beggar ever left her door hungry. Often it would happen that she would be about to eat, and at that very moment, someone in need would complain of hunger, and she would give her own food to that person. This was a small act of kindness she would perform in her life enveloped in sins day and night, and the glory of my Lord is such that one feels like sacrificing oneself. Allah overlooked her sins, and in exchange for that small act of kindness, set her on the path of guidance. Indeed, He loves His servants immensely. May Allah guide all of us Muslims to the straight path. Ameen, O Lord of the worlds.
Thank you for watching. We hope this video has provided you with valuable insights and deepened your understanding of Islam. Remember, the pursuit of knowledge is a lifelong journey, and every step you take brings you closer to spiritual fulfillment. If you found this content helpful, please give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends and family, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more enlightening videos. Your support helps us continue spreading messages of peace, compassion, and unity. We also invite you to leave your thoughts and questions in the comments below. We'd love to hear from you and engage in meaningful discussions. Together, let's build a community rooted in faith and mutual respect. May Allah bless you abundantly, guide you on the straight path, and fill your life with peace and happiness. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Peace be upon you and the mercy and blessings of Allah.